Hey guys, JChiuminatto here, and today we're going to be going over the Avengers. This is going to be a saxophone only video. We're only going to talk about the saxophone part, and we're going to work specifically on saxophone 1 and 2. So, if you'd like to do a video with the whole band, I've also done a video on Avengers. I've also done a concert band class, so you guys can go over and check out that. Or if you are a bass or drums or trumpet or clarinet, flute, whatever, you guys can go and check out the Avengers videos on your specific instrument as well. We're kind of uploading content daily, so you guys can check back in and kind of experience the song in a few different ways. Like I said, this is going to be specifically saxophone. One thing I did want to mention though is saxophones. At some of our schools we might not have trombone players. If you don't have a trombone player, then one thing you could ask your band director is you could ask them if you could play the trombone part. At some of my schools, some of my saxophones have to help me out on the trombone parts, and I call them trombonophones. It's pretty funny. So you can take the trombone part and your band director can show you, but you can change the notes just a little bit and make it sound right. So at that opening part, if you were to play the trombone part, because your school doesn't have one and you kind of need to cover it, you would start on A. And then whenever it's time to switch, we're going to go to B flat. Then when we switch, we go to B. Then when we switch, we go to C. And then we go back down. B, B flat, back to A. And so whenever you hear the trombones going, and then when you get to those two quarter notes, it's F natural, G. So that's a pretty cool part. Like I said, if you only have the bass players, if you only have bass at your school, so you're only hearing F, 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 you can ask your band director if you can add that part in, but make sure you've practiced it so that you can kind of know what's going on. So the rhythm for that is 1E N and a 3, 4E and a 1E N and a 3, 4E and a 1E N and a 3, 4E and a 1E N and a 3, 4, 1E N and a 1E N and a 3, 4E and a 1E N and a 3, 4E and a 1E N and a 3, 4E and a 1E N and a 3, 4. You basically change on 1 or 3 every time, except the first measure you play those all A's. A, B flat. So I'm saying B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat, B, 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 C, 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 B, 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 F, G. So you guys can work on that if you want, and that'd be cool to add in at your school if you don't have a trombone. Now our part comes in at measure 9. And when we come in, it says forte. It wants us to come in strong, and we have to come in on a low D. You have to keep your teeth on top, you have to keep your mouth supported, and you're going to blow hot, fast air. So it's going to sound kind of like this. Make sure you give it a nice tongue at the beginning, and in all honesty, putting a little bit more mouthpiece than you normally do, not cranking it in there, but putting a tiny bit more mouthpiece than you normally do will help you get those low notes out even easier. So let's start at measure 9 and make sure that when we get to those staccato 8th notes, we're playing them short. It's almost like you're clipping them off. And then you're playing a 16th note as a pickup into the next quarter note. Let's start at 9. 1, 2, ready, go. So at that point, we should have gotten to 13. If you were kind of halfway through 13, you're like, wait, why did we stop? You forgot to take the repeat. There's a repeat from 9 to 13, so that means we have to play that section twice. Then the trumpets are going to come in with us at 13 and play the same thing. And they'll play it basically an octave higher, so it'll kind of sound really, really powerful. And we got to keep playing strong. So I'm going to put on this track. I want us to start at the beginning and try and go to 21. Let's see here. Avengers. There we go. 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4. So whenever we get to that part right there, we're going to go over that section in a second. I also wanted to bring your attention to where we need to breathe. There are very, very, very specific spots that we need to breathe in here. And it's every 4 measures. Okay, ta, 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 ta. Okay, and really, you can almost sneak a breath in those 16th note rests. If you can sneak a breath really fast in there, that's kind of what I'm doing, and it makes it really easy. I never kind of drop out on any of the long notes. I just keep going. You guys might hear my dog in the background. I don't think you can see him, but he's just clicking away, and it's okay. I'm not being attacked. Whenever we get to 21, everybody drops out, and that becomes basically like woodwind choir time. Saxophones, this is the hardest section of the song for us because we have these octave jumps, and these octave jumps make it really, really hard to play in tune. So what you have to do is you have to tongue with a low open throat, and then whenever you jump up to that octave, you're going to have to raise your tongue up in your mouth like you're saying the word E a little bit. So it's going to be like ta-ee, especially since we're slurring. You don't get to tongue to the next note. You have to say ta-ee. So I would practice that individually on each one of our jumps. The first one is D to D. If you don't kind of close your mouth like I did, you're going to end up going like this. And we don't want that. We don't want that super flat one. So, okay, you see I kind of had to bend that top pitch up to kind of make it in tune. And then the next one we get to is G. For that one, I have to open my mouth up a little bit more for the high G so that it doesn't go sharp. And then whenever you do the same thing for the A, then you have F sharp to F sharp. Okay? So I would do every single one of those with a tuner several times to make sure that you are you're playing the top note in tune, because you're having to hold that out, and you're holding it out with a bunch of clarinets and flutes who are also playing very, very high notes that are hard to hold in tune as well. So everybody's got to be doing their job. Let's start at 21. Let's play it one time slowly. I'll put on this metronome. We're going to play it slowly without the band, without anything behind us, just a metronome, just a click track to keep us together. And then we will go back and do it one time with the recording. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 21, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1. Good, we're going to do that again. Now, the rhythm that you have in measure 22 and 23 is 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3. Okay? Okay, so look at that again. 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2, 3. Okay, let's play that rhythm together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Very, very good. Let's do that entire section again. And guys, really focus on the tuning. Every single one of you, whether you know it or not, can hear whether that sounds like the Avengers or not. Because we've all heard the song, we've all watched the movie, most of us have. If you haven't, maybe you can ask mom and dad around this time, say that Mr. Chiuminatto said that I should really listen to this song in the movie to see how it kind of sounds if you haven't seen the Avengers yet. And then you guys should definitely check it out. It's a really, really awesome movie with awesome music the entire time. And so I want you to focus on this part, because if we don't play these top notes in tune, it can go from being the coolest part of the song to being the scariest part of the song. So that's what we're here to practice. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Very, very good. Awesome. Now, let's go back and do that with the track. I'm going to rewind it a little bit to see if we can figure out where they come in at like 9 or 13. And then we will jump in with them at 21. Measure 9. Here we go, 21, ready, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we get right there to 29, and we end up taking over the melody again. Very, very good. So the key change happens at 29. I want everybody to take your pencil and circle that right now. That is a very big deal, and it's going to kind of change the entire set of notes we're using now. So instead of looking for B flats, which luckily we didn't have any pop up before now, you have F sharp and C sharp. Okay, those are going to be very, very big players coming up. So you got to watch out for that. We also go now to playing B naturals the entire time, so it's really, really important. This is the main melody of Avengers. This is the big part. This is one of the big moments in the song. So I'm going to count you in, and I want to hear you play. 2, 3, and 1. And you have to hold that all the way out till beat 1 at measure 32. So hold that full whole note all the way out. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, good. Now, up until now, we have all played the exact same part between Alto 1 and Alto 2. No music has changed at all whatsoever. We've had the exact same part. Once we get to 4 measures before 39, we start splitting up. We split up for those 4 measures, and we play some really, really cool harmony stuff. So let's go over Alto 2 first. We start on low F sharp. You really got a tongue, and if you notice, the first one's mezzo forte, the first 2 half notes are mezzo forte, then when we get to the next measure, it gets louder. So what we're kind of aiming for here is, and your rhythm is 1, 3, 1, and a 3. So here's what we're aiming for. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, let's try that again together. 1, 2, ready, go. Good. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, second altos, go. Now go ahead and play the next measure. A, B, B, C sharp. You have to mark that C sharp right now. That's very, very important. 1, 2, 38, go. And you have to say dot, 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 dot. I want you to play them super articulate. Let's do that. Now if you go back to the alto 1 part and measure 36, you guys have B, A sharp, which is the same thing as B flat. All you have to do is take your first finger and roll it onto that small key. So if I'm already on B, just roll my finger down. You'll kind of catch that small key that we told you never to play in beginner band. And you'll kind of roll onto that and be in the right spot. Okay, so if you have to play both of them with one finger for it to be B flat. Another way to play B flat that some of you guys might play is where you play A and then this top side key. You might know how to play it that way. You can totally do that as well. For this one, it's a little smoother if you go. Then you have to just involve a few more fingers. So personally, I would do this one. If you feel more comfortable with the side B flat, that's okay too. So you guys are going to do the same thing as alto 2, where it's soft, soft, louder, da da da. And we're kind of getting slightly louder as we go the entire time. Let me hear first altos right there. Play 36, 37, and 38. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so if I'm thinking of that part, I'm thinking of basically gradually getting louder and pushing to 39, and then we're going to back off just a little at 39 because that's not our really super big impact moment yet. So let's hear second alto and first alto together at 39, or 3 before 39. Excuse me. Let me hear it's 3 before 39, and I will play the first alto part. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, first altos, make sure that you have marked the C sharp and measure 37. The C sharp half note, that's really, really important. Okay, let's jump back a little bit. I'm going to try and jump back to where we're at 21. Okay, and that way we'll play 21, 29, and we'll stop at 39. Here we go. All right, not bad. I'm going to rewind it just a little bit so we have it kind of ready to go for our next section we're going to work on. When you get to 39, we're going to back off just a little bit, go back to kind of mezzo forte, because we're going to try and build all the way to 47. 47 is where it's going to get loud and then even louder after that. So it's kind of the same melody that we just played. I'm going to draw your attention to measure 45 where you have a G sharp. The way you play that is 1, 2, 3, top pinky right here. Now with G sharp, that is the one key on the front of the saxophone that is naturally closed. If you look, the rest of them naturally stay open. Like when you put it in the case, when you're done playing for the day, all of these stay open to dry out. This one does not. So most of the time, this is one of the first pads that we actually have to get replaced, is because it just collects so much moisture, collects so much spit that it likes to stick a lot. Okay, so whenever I pull this out of my saxophone case, I pop my G-sharp key and I just always make sure that it's opening. If it's stuck down when you go to open it like this, I'm kind of pushing to make it stick, don't do that, but if it's stuck like that, I'll go on the other side and I'll pull it up very gently and it'll pop open, and usually that'll keep it from sticking. If it sticks all the time, it's something that you might have to take a look at, or you can take a $1 bill, tuck it behind that key, push it down just a little bit, and then pull the $1 bill out, and you'll kind of get some of the gunk off of there. And it's a $1 bill. They're already dirty anyways. It's okay. So whenever you're playing this, make sure your G-sharp key opens, especially before this song. I would actually write at the top of the song, double check G-sharp key, because if we get to that spot and even one saxophone doesn't play G-sharp, it really makes things rough. All right, so let's start at measure 39 saxes. Let's see how this goes. Let's go 39 to 47. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. There, we're really going to crescendo going into 47 because it's about to get loud, it's about to get epic. We get to this super staccato part, and we'll get there in 1 second. Let's do that section one more time, and I really want you guys to push for those higher notes, to play them in tune. For that G sharp, I have to keep my mouth really kind of tight, otherwise it goes flat really easily for me, so you'll have to check on a tuner for you. 39, 1, 2, 39, 2, ready, go. Very good. When we get to 47, now we go into the staccato section. I'm going to turn a metronome on for this because naturally, saxophones, we like to rush this. Okay, we do. I'm not going to lie to you. So, whenever we get here, we have to think straight up and down eighth notes, super staccato. Tut 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 tut. Okay, so if this is our metronome right here, 1 and 2 and 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 C sharp. Okay, we're gonna stop on that C sharp, no fingers. Let's try it. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Let's do that again. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Very good. Okay, so whenever we get to that section, super articulate staccato notes. Now look at the next part. You basically do the same thing, but you stop on the low B. D, B, B, D, D, B, B. D, B, B, D, D, B, B. Let's try that. Measure 51. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, again, go. Here we go. Let's finish it out now. A, B, B, C sharp, B. And then we're going to get softer and then louder at the end. So let's do the last 1, 2, 3, 4 measures starting on A. 1, 2, loud, go. All right, good. Let's do that with the track now. Make sure that on that sforzando, that means hit it hard, drop, and we're gonna fade to piano, and then crescendo all the way until your director cuts you off. Saxophones also, mark these C sharps, guys. You have a C sharp in measure 52, you have a C sharp in measure 50, you have a C sharp back in measure 42, you have a C sharp back in measure 38. Those are so important and can really kind of wreck the harmonies going on there if you're not watching out. Okay, let's jump back here. Let's see if we can join in at 39. Great job, guys. We're going to actually play the entire song top to bottom now. Go ahead and give your lips just a rest. Let's play the entire thing. Here we go. Great job, guys. I hope that helped you out a little bit, saxophone players, with playing Avengers. Guys, if you have any questions, give me a call, or not a call, excuse me, give me an email at JChiuminatto@musiclearningband.com, and let me know how I can help you guys out. We're also going to have some virtual office hours through the day, so chime in with any of your questions, and we'll keep working on this music. Great job, and we'll see you guys in the next video.